Founded in 1851 in the Jesuit Catholic tradition of academic excellence, St. Joseph's is a comprehensive university that provides students with a rich and rigorous educational experience built upon inquiry and critical thinking. As we gather to welcome our newest freshman class and returning students, we want to take a moment to reflect on all that has brought us here to this moment of our ever-expanding St. Joe's community.
The Jesuits, that is the Society of Jesus, began nearly 500 years ago with these first 7 men. Ignatius's newfound devotion to Jesus Christ inspired the group to devote themselves to the service of Christ in the Catholic Church. The first Jesuits quickly attracted men to join them, and they became known very early in the mid-16th century for the schools that they began in Italy. These schools were founded on the belief that every person has a unique set of talents and a particular calling to contribute to the common good. Impressed by the first Jesuit schools, leaders all over Europe were soon welcoming Jesuit educators for the benefits they brought to local church and civic communities. Jesuits quickly understood that their schools gave them a unique opportunity to inspire the kind of leadership that contributed to the common good and promoted love of God and of neighbor.
The Jesuit mission forms the basis of the educational mission of St. Joseph's University and is part of what makes SJU a distinctive educational institution. Part of that mission is the pursuit of research and scholarly work in all forms. It's really important to note, because it's easy to lose sight of this, that these research pursuits are not dictated or limited by tenets of faith, except in that these tenets of faith provide a very useful and important ethical framework for how research is conducted and how the fruits of that research may be used for good or for ill. So how has the rich history of Jesuit education influenced St. Joseph's today? Well, starting in the past, by 1750, the Jesuits were already well entrenched in scholarship, science, and exploration throughout the world. At one point, almost a quarter of the astronomical observatories throughout the world were run by Jesuit scientists. As the world changed, the Jesuits changed with it, and they shifted their focus from primarily on physics, mathematics, and astronomy into including other areas as well, such as science, medicine, and the humanities, including poetry, theology, and other areas. One example of an important role the Jesuits played in medical advances is that in the 17th century, the Jesuits learned about the healing properties of the bark of the chinchoa tree from the indigenous people in Peru. They helped distribute this bark throughout much of the known world at that time, and it was used extensively in medical treatments. We know this bark today, which is also called Jesuit's bark, contains the chemical quinine, which is a very useful anti-malarial compound, as well as being used for other medical treatments. Here at St. Joe's, true to our Jesuit Catholic tradition, we go deeper into all aspects of education and research in our community, deeper into self-reflection and critical thinking, so that we can be of greater service to the world and to its people. We continue the work that the Jesuits began centuries ago here in the sciences by training researchers, medical professionals, and scholars through programs at St. Joseph's University, such as the Summer Scholars Program, where students can perform faculty-mentored research full-time here in the labs at St. Joseph's, and through the John P. McNulty Program for Leadership in Science and Mathematics, which supports young women in math and natural science in their formation as future leaders in those disciplines. All of these values transcend religion. Here at St. Joseph's, we are people from all walks of life, We work shoulder to shoulder with members of our community to build a more just and thriving society. I'm very pleased to have played some small role in that effort.
Faculty, staff, students, and alumni are all invited to learn about the Jesuit mission and identity of St. Joseph's University, regardless of religious affiliation. You don't have to be a Jesuit to live out the Jesuit mission of the university. Many lay people of diverse religious backgrounds resonate with Jesuit values that seek to uphold and nurture holistic human flourishing for oneself and others, and especially for those on the margins. My dissertation research focused on the influence of Ignatian formation on lay leaders for social justice in Jesuit higher education in the United States. I spoke with leaders from many different religious backgrounds and no religious backgrounds. Each had some significant opportunity to learn more about and be formed in Ignatian spirituality and Jesuit mission. All spoke about the role such Ignatian formation had in the ways they understand a faith that works for social justice and how they put this value into practice through discernment in their various roles. I was humbled by listening to their stories, especially for leaders whose identity in some way is traditionally underrepresented in Jesuit higher education leadership. My own identity is of a lay collaborator in Jesuit mission. I'm an SJU alum, I'm a former Jesuit volunteer, and I've been working in campus ministry at SJU for the past 16 years. It's a privilege and a gift to walk with students of all religious affiliations on their journeys while here at SJU. Kolvenbach, the former Superior General of the Jesuits, in an address affirmed this commitment of Jesuit University to the work of a faith that does justice, for the opportunities for students to be with those on the margins, to learn, quote, learn about reality and become adults of solidarity in the future, end quote. Kolvenbach challenged Jesuit universities and the Society of Jesus itself when he proposed a measure of Jesuit educational outcomes by arguing, quote, the real measure of our Jesuit universities lies in who our students become, end quote.
We like to say here in Jesuit education that we don't teach you what to think, we teach you how to think, and giving you those tools and gifts that you have in order to explore what it is that you need to know and how you need to come to know yourself, your own uniqueness in the world, your unique contribution to the world, because we believe that the world will thrive, the world will benefit from each student's talents coming into their own and into their full capacity.
St. Ignatius was a passionate person. When he found his passion, it animated his life. As an alumnus of St. Joseph's, we can learn from this and ask ourselves, how do my passions animate my life and the lives of those around me to create a better world?
Thanks for being a part of this endeavor in whatever way, for being a member of this great academic community that allows us to be more of who each one of us is called to be, and allows us as a community to come to know more deeply what the present moment calls and demands of us, and to allow us then to move forward together into a hope-filled future where the world will be a much better place because of who and what we do through that inspiration of St. Ignatius of Loyola and this long-standing tradition of Jesuit education.